Leontino, thanks for sitting down with me today. Great to see you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Leontino, I'm going to kind of jump right into it. Most countries in Latin America are still operating under UPOV 78. I think Argentina and Brazil are in the process of revising their seed laws currently, but most of the countries are not going past UPOV 78. Can you talk a little bit about why haven't they adopted UPOV 91, and what's the connection there?
Yeah, first, just to set the scene, we have some members in the region to the 1991 Act of the UPOV Convention, namely the United States, Canada, and then the Dominican Republic, Costa Rica, Panama, and Peru, which are already members to the 1991 Act. Moreover, there are many UPOV members in this region that, though they operate under 1978 Act legislation, they've incorporated already in their legislations for plant breeders' rights many of the requirements for the 1991 Act. So they may not be signatories to the 1991 Act, but they are running plant right protection schemes that are very similar, very close to the requirements of the 1991 Act. Maybe there's a lack of awareness on the importance of plant breeding in many countries in this region. The importance of plant variety protection to promote plant breeding, even beyond that, and also a mix of different things. There's some confusion around plant variety protection, in particular with regards to biosafety or biosecurity, access and benefit sharing. It's very important that we realize that these systems, they are made to be implemented in a mutually supportive manner. And what we work is to bring information to the users, to the stakeholders, so that we can have an informed discussion about plant variety protection and the role of the 1991 Act to promote plant breeding.
So plant breeding, the variety protection, the components that come along with the work that your group does, there's a lot of language out there, there's a lot of groups out there that are railing against the concept. Would that be safe to say? There's not a lot, there's some that are railing against it. And often they're a loud group. How do we in the seed sector, and how do you more specifically with UPOV, how do you approach that?
Well, it's first important to realize that plant variety protection and new varieties are benefits for farmers. So it's important that farmers realize that they are the first beneficiaries of having new varieties, more options to choose from, more possibilities for them to add value, more information about these varieties that are made available to them. And once we're settled with these new varieties, or with the increasing opportunities for new varieties, then we're good. I think what the farmers we have been discussing with, they are very enthusiastic about taking up new varieties once they have the choice to consider these varieties, to test them, to choose them. But when you don't have an effective plant variety protection system, there are less varieties being offered for farmers, less opportunities for them to add value, or less market opportunities. So once we've agreed with farmers, then we can go on for a system that provides breeding for local needs. Plant variety protection enables small, medium-sized enterprises to operate. And these are the companies that are going to provide solutions for local needs for farmers.
Right, and that's really the critical piece, isn't it? Local needs for farmers. Yeah, absolutely. Working on an international scope as you do, there's a lot of complexities from country to country to country. Some countries are going to be more inclined to see the merits of adopting. Can you talk a little bit about how do you handle that from a complexity of communications standpoint?
Sure. It's first an initiative by the different UPOV members to approach us, and once they've decided how they would like to go about involving the stakeholders, that's when we sit down together and we discuss how can UPOV contribute to this information process. And we even have a recent case from Canada. I know you're from Canada as well, right?
Absolutely.
Canada has recently moved up to the 1991 Act of the UPOV Convention. They've taken a very well-informed decision. I guess they've come to realize, both farmers and society, on benefits of plant breeding and the role of the UPOV Convention to promote plant breeding. What we've recently heard from the authorities in Canada is that since the accession of Canada to the 1991 Act of the UPOV Convention, there's been an increase in the number of applications being filed for plant variety protection in a greater number of crops, and also new investments being brought to developing new plant varieties.
Which is critical to everyone's success, right? I think that conversation has been a strong one in Canada, and I think the results are unequivocal that it has enhanced the relationship of the seed industry with farmers. When the concern was that it potentially wouldn't enhance, it really has enhanced that. It generates additional responsibilities, and it creates some accountability along the way, which is all positive as we continue to build and grow the seed industry. So I think I agree completely. So we're just about in 2018 now, and I'm curious, if you look out into your crystal ball for 2018, what do you see as some of the challenges or focal points that UPOV will be working on as we kick into 2018?
Yeah, UPOV is working to facilitate farmers to make varieties available, or the other way around, facilitate breeders to make varieties available to farmers. The way we're going about this challenge is by providing an electronic application form, which is an online tool for breeders to apply for plant variety protection worldwide or in different UPOV members that are participating in this system. This system is quite peculiar, and it's a good challenge for us in 2018 because we're looking into an IT tool that has just now been deployed and that still needs to be expanded to include more crops and to cover greater coverage in territorial terms, in terms of UPOV members that are accepting applications via this tool. One of the key features of this tool is that the forms are all in one place. So if a breeder wants to apply for protection, it does not need anymore to go looking for the appropriate information respective of each territory where it wants to apply. It may go to this single application tool that will provide the forms all in one place, and the forms will be translated. So if a breeder in Canada would like to apply for plant variety protection in China, the Chinese forms will be displayed in English for the Canadian breeder to fill out these forms. Parts of the application will also be automatically translated, such as the description of the variety. So this will save a lot of time and some costs for the breeders to make these varieties available to farmers elsewhere across the UPOV membership. What we're looking at in the near future is actually enhancing cooperation amongst UPOV members so that we can have more varieties being made available to farmers.
What percentage of UPOV members are adopting the system?
Currently, we have 15 UPOV members. The possibilities we're looking at is from January 1st, 2018 to double this number. And over the next couple of years, hopefully we'll have the entire UPOV membership using this facility. Of course, it's up to the members to decide when and whether or not they would like to join the initiative. But we are certainly facilitating all the information that they may require in this process to take their decisions.
Excellent. Well, that sounds exciting. I can see why your members would be excited about that kind of a system for sure. Leontino, thank you very much for your time. Great to see you again.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Good to see you too.